You know what? If I stand back here, maybe we can all.
Gather around. Yeah, we're live now.
All right. Well, we can adjust the monitor, I think, whether we can adjust the. Oh, Lord, look at the gut on me. Oh, Christ.
You're in great shape.
Yeah, I am.
The sphere is the shape.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. A whale is one of the fastest creatures in the world in the ocean. You know. If I could move as fast as a whale, I'd be a hell of a Well, here we are, boys and girls, at the May meeting of the Chicago CTIUG Group, and we have a kind of a cobbled together system today. However, I think that it's going to work, and glad to have everybody here. As usual, Vic Stirp, our president. Vic, can you wave your hand in front of the? Yeah, Vic's there, and Jim is over here. Jim, do you want to walk over and
around?
show everybody who you are? Back behind the. Yeah, and that's
Hello.
he's over there. All right. So, and I'm here, Hal Shanfield, fair manager, et cetera, et cetera. We've got a good show, and Vic, take it away.
Okay, well, we have a whole bunch of things today. We have a couple different systems set up, actually, or I can set up. If we aim the camera down, is the P-Box I usually use at home, and this one's been modified. It has a half-height 5 1/4-inch drive, and it also has the Lathrec floppy drive emulator that uses software on an SD card. And any computer can manipulate the files on that card once they're converted into HFE format. And that is how I get software to and from my PC. From the TI to the PC, I don't use the telecommunications program.
I think we're picking up a lot of the
You
sound.
can turn the sound down on that.
Okay. Let's see.
We're running, this is Ken Gilliland's Star Trek disc collection of various music and artwork. And then over here on this side, my 10-year-old compact flash failed. So I traded it in, and this is a nano PEB. And the nano PEB fortunately came with a compact flash with software loaded on it, which is good because the old compact flash manager software doesn't work on the new nano. I don't know if there's a difference between the CF and the nano, or if it's just new firmware in the operating system or something like that. So I'm glad I got that. I have a Sucrets container loaded with compact flash cards that I've had to number to keep them straight. And I have various libraries on there, the Chicago Library, the Altman Fairwork Group, the Boston Computer Society, and I also have libraries from the last giveaway flash ROM from the last fair that has all of the modules on disk collections that I've accumulated on floppy disk over the past few years. Plus, it's got the collection of all the modules that I personally own. And the third collection on there is what's called the TI discs collection. Yeah, let's get the top of the screen too, which is on the cartridges that were released on that giveaway. So we have a whole lot of stuff here. No, I don't think we have to hear that again. We'll watch Spock and Kirk beam out. Diskette is released
the lights off if that
as fairware.
easier to read.
It means that if you use this disk and even feel guilty, then you can give Ken Gilliland some money.
What is that?
Okay, so here's the theme from the motion picture. I don't know, can anybody hear that at home? You press menu. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, This is from the motion picture. Yes, Ken Gilliland, programmer, musician, artist on the TI. He's done a whole bunch of stuff. He's done the Star Trek collection. He did the Disc of Dinosaurs collections.
An author too, as I recall. He wrote a book on how not to go crazy using the Printer's Apprentice.
Yes, I got a copy of that when it was available. The Printer's Apprentice is a fantastic program because it pretty much emulates a print shop. And in printing, a lot different from Page Pro, which is automated, the Printer's Apprentice gives you a whole lot of control over every letter, every picture, your font, your spacing, justification, things like that. And it's a very comprehensive program. The Page Pro is good for most of the rest of us.
Yeah.
Remember when we were into desktop publishing?
Oh, yeah.
Error. Okay. Yeah. Okay. We're using RXB version 215. I just sort of stepped right through those menu screens there if they look unfamiliar. I guess Wrath of Khan isn't on here. So do a buy. Okay, here we are at the title screen. So this says what accessories plugged in the Nano PEB. Since we're using an F18 video, it'll show up here that it is the firmware version 2 for the first couple seconds after the computer's turned on. So I'll turn the computer off, and if I turn it on again, version 1.8. And that's intentional, let you know you had the F18 update. I was having a problem with a whole bunch of problems on my Nano, and I was going like, what the heck is the problem? And it turns out that those cartridges really don't run on the version 1 of the F18. I had to do the F18 update. So press the any key. Here's the rich XP. You can get it with a menu or no menu, or you can get the editor assembler. But let's press number 2 for the menu. This will only stay up for a few seconds. Any key, disk load. So I have my compact flash or nano utilities on disk 3. So if I press number 3, it looks at disk 3 for a load program, and it comes up with the compact flash manager. It's still called a compact flash, even though it's a nano. So I can do file utilities. So I can actually manipulate files from the virtual disks. I got over 1,000 of them on this compact flash card. Manipulate files directly on the compact flash from disk to disk. But we'll go back. Here's volume utilities. We can catalog any particular disk. I usually go for listing them. And here's what I have on here. So I leave like the first 10 blank, and I put the utilities I use, like compact flash setup. I don't think I actually demonstrated that, how to format 1,200 disks onto a compact flash card in about 10 minutes. Because I went nuts doing that once, and I swore I'd never do it again. Volume 2 is blank. Volume 3 is what we're looking at. I call it VIC utilities. And volume 1 is just a duplicate of it. The rest of these are blank until we get here to 11, VMOD 01. You might wonder what's that. I'll do it back. We'll catalog. Volume 11, press enter. And okay, so here's what's on, this is what I gave away at the fair, VMOD 01. Budget management, the TI demonstration disk, editor assembler, EasyBug, home financial decisions, the load program for it, disk manager, will control X down, physical fitness, real estate, and Y load. Well, load runs yload when you select the file you want, and yload does the actual work of emulating editor assembler to load these EA files. These can all be loaded from EA. So what did I say that one was? 11? Okay, so we'll get into basic. We will mount in virtual floppy 1 on the compact flash, disk 11. Do a by, title screen, select 3 for RXP no menu. Well, disk 1 load. You list it, and this is the load program that sets up the screen. Says display utility diskette of assembly language programs. These collections I got a long time ago all have something that says that collection of cartridges. Down here is the data statement where it will display the names of the cartridges. And then we get into the string you select, disk 1 plus the B string, the name of the, like the first one here, shows on your screen, budget management, and then the file it looks for is BUDGETMNG1. So this one matches up the name you're looking at with the name that's on the disk. And then it does a call init, call load, yload, which is an EA emulator, and then call link load. So we'll run this load program. There we go. So it's a nice display. Not in alphabetical order, but it doesn't have to be. So say we want to get into, what haven't we run? We've done physical fitness, which is a lot of fun to do. Touch your toes. Remember when touching your toes was considered good exercise and not straining your back?
I can't even remember touching my toes.
So I selected G for physical fitness. We'll have some fun with this again. Use your TI to keep fit. Track your nutrition.
Yeah.
Analyze your finances. Okay, well, here's an artifact we get. Using RXB is because it's already got some of the numbers used already for RXB. You get these color bars and stuff, and then you get physical fitness is 5 there on the bottom. Let's quit that. I'll take RXB out and go to TI Extended Basic, which will automatically load the same program, G Physical Fitness. I like the RXB because you can do a disk catalog from it real easy. Now this is a cartridge. These are all cartridges that TI had released. Some of them aren't. I think I have 5 versions of Munchman on here, and 3 of them are different versions. So it's interesting to see what's possibly the prototypes of Munchman before they were actually released. So press 3 for physical fitness. Oh, nice border. 1978, wow. It's important that you read the manual before starting this exercise program in order to understand individual exercise limits and guidelines. Press enter if you have read the manual. Well, it's got no way of knowing that I haven't read the
Perhaps
manual.
for new users, we should actually define the term manual, since many people who are younger than we have never, ever seen an actual physical manual.
Oh, I got them down in the car, but not here.
Oh, well. At any rate, boys and girls out there of all ages.
Times today that he doesn't actually have a printed manual.
Yeah.
What's down in the car in that box that I got last month?
It's an ancient
So
form of
after the
communication, transmitting information that is essential to operating anything on your computer. Back in the dark ages, when we were all born, people actually read these things before they turned on the machine and gained some information from it. Nowadays, of course, everyone knows everything from birth on, so you don't need manuals anymore, which is one of the reasons that the world is in the shape that it is right now.
As Blank Reg said to a customer in the Max Headroom TV series when he tried to give her a book, she said, "What's that?" And he said, "It's a non-volatile form of information storage."
Exactly. Yeah.
So,
Unless you get it really hot, I think it's 451 degrees, most books begin to lose their information
Integrity.
about that time, yeah.
physical fitness. This is an overall exercise package designed to give you a carefully planned exercise program. We recommend a complete physical examination prior to starting. No, we're not playing doctor.
Oh, darn.
It's just 451
I was gonna say, we could
degrees.
show this to a lot of
Basically
people.
undergoes a conversion from
Yes.
its matter-based storage system to energy
Yeah,
and encrypted.
that's not the Trilon and the Perisphere the home audience is seeing.
Yeah.
A complete physical is necessary if you are over 35, have a present or past history of heart disease or other complications. This exam should include a graded exercise stress test with a monitored EKG. Well, we're all still here, so I think we've survived our stress test.
You know, this is worse than one of those commercials on television where they list all the side effects. I mean, who would ever want to run this program after listening to or reading all of the dangers that it entails?
Mhm.
It's pretty scary. And this is a cassette, or not a cassette, but a cartridge that you had to purchase, boys and girls, for real American dollars once upon a time.
If a particular exercise produces excessive strain, either omit or reduce the repetitions until it is comfortable. Well, I feel pretty comfortable right now.
Yeah, well, how would you ever get fit if you say do one repetition? Oh, I don't feel comfortable, and never do it again.
If you have stopped exercising for several weeks, you should go back a level for a few days. Press enter to continue. To interrupt exercises, press the space bar. Yes.
That's Freudian. That is Freudian.
To
right there.
resume, press the space bar again. If you wait longer than 2 minutes, we will back up one exercise. Ready to begin? Press enter.
I was hoping it meant go back one level in the menu, back beyond the scary stuff, but I guess it means one level of exercise. How annoying.
For introduction, exercise evaluation, let's have a look at exercises.
Sure.
To review men's exercises,
Maybe we should have reviewed the women's exercises since we wouldn't be tempted to do any of those. That's a little less dangerous.
Let's press 1 for level 1. Oh, after we're done with this, we can get back. Okay, the wing stretcher. Stretch your wings, yes.
What if you don't have wings?
That's a good question.
Oh.
So
Touch
position
hands,
1,
pull hands apart. Okay, I did that.
touch hands together.
8 times?
Yes, okay, here, let me press enter. Toe touch, stretch and hold briefly.
I can do that.
Okay,
I'm touching my toes.
okay.
They're right there, right
I
on
thought
top
this
of my
had
left knee.
animations on it. Maybe that's a different
I
one.
did it 8 times. I don't feel any fitter, but
Okay, knee lift. Raise
Oh.
and hold briefly.
okay, I'm raising my knee.
Position 1, position 2. Repeat 5 left and 5 right.
That works. Cheers up.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
That's it.
And do your other knee.
Oh, no. All right. Oh, my thumbs. Work.
Okay.
There we go. Did that.
Body bender. Bend sideways and hold briefly. 1 and 2, and 1 and 2, and 1 and 2, and 1 and 2.
Oh.
1 and 2,
Oh.
and 1 and 2.
I'm tired. Can we
1
stop?
and 2. Okay, that's
Oh.
left. We'll skip the right because this is just
Yeah,
a
that's-
review.
That's right. Just a review.
So I wish we had multiple cameras set up so we could,
No, on the contrary. No. We don't want anybody to see.
We
No.
should have a radio theater set
Yeah.
up so that we can.
Yeah.
pretend we're doing
Radio
it.
is much
Oh,
better.
Foley
than-
pit. Yeah.
Question here. We have a question for you. It
Yes.
says, Taco Nunik writes, I think that's
Something.
are upgrades like Nano PP and CF7 still available?
Yes, they are. Your best source for finding them is go to the website called arcadeshopper.com, run by our friend Gregory McGill. And he is a retailer for the people who manufacture these. If he does not have any new available, you might have to try the popular shopping site eBay and see if someone has a used CF7 or a Nano PEB.
Depending upon whether
Get
you
one with
prefer
low
cereal
mileage.
or-
Yeah.
Get one with low mileage, have it checked out before you buy it, because you can never tell how hard it's been driven. And, well, never mind.
Yes.
Those little old ladies who supposedly only take it to church once a week.
That's it, yeah, if you have, no,
Absolute
don't.
And then if you're looking for the floppy emulator that pretends, as far as the computer knows, that's a floppy disk. It doesn't know any
As far
different.
as the CF7 card and the Nano PEB, people that produce those do them in small batches and they become available from time to time. So, check,
When they get enough orders for them,
right.
then they'll make a dozen of them.
Often,
Yeah.
or pay up and wait. It's as simple as
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
If you're looking for a floppy emulator, the guy's name is Lotharek, Lotharek. And he's in Europe. And I got mine pretty quickly when I ordered it. And the only thing I got chumped on is €1 costs more than $1. So the purchase price was actually in dollars, more than I thought it would be because he lists euros. However, the device has worked flawlessly since I've got it, and I'm really happy with it. The only change I made is I put a switch on it and also on my floppy drive to switch from drive 1 to drive 2. Because sometimes there's a load program I don't want to automatically start. I want to leave it as drive 2 so I could study the contents of the disk. Other times I want to have it as drive 1. But yeah, I think that was one of the exercises on this, wasn't it? On flipping the drives. Okay, the sprinter, hands on floor, alternate one knee to the chest, 1 and 2,
I think I can reach the floor.
and repeat
No, I
12
can't.
times. Yeah, I don't have a drinking problem. I drink, I get drunk, I fall down, no problem.
That's right, yeah, no problem.
Arm circles, large, smooth circles, rotate arms forward.
Okay. Yeah, I
Okay.
did it, yeah. 7 times. I only
Sit
did it
up
5
with your
times.
fingers laced and your knees bent, position 1, position 2.
You doing that? Everybody doing that? Lace your
Yes,
fingers?
1,
I'm
2, 3,
3,
4, 5. Okay.
Okay, we did that.
The flutter kick, face down, chest raised, kick slightly from the hips. Well, it's like you're swimming
How
in
can
the
you
pool.
kick from the hips when your feet are actually attached to the bottoms of your legs
Mhm.
instead of your hips? No, we can't do that one.
Okay, we'll have to skip this
No,
one.
okay.
The leg raiser, raise and hold with hips forward.
Oh, I can do that.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4. How many times?
5.
5
Sit-
times. Okay,
oh,
I did that. I got my foot off the floor and everything.
Push-ups, keep your back straight.
I did some push-ups once upon a time,
Mm-hmm.
but I was younger then and more robust. And besides, the girls were prettier. Anyway, never mind.
Level 1 completes with your choice of one of the following. The run and place medley for 6 minutes, skip with the rope for 6 minutes, or run 1 mile in 20 minutes. I don't know if I can run 1 mile in 40 minutes.
If I were to run from here to the door, you guys would be doing resuscitation,
Okay,
hopefully.
so that was men's exercise. Let's look at women's exercises
No, this should be much better.
for the distaff side here. 1 for level run. Base your selection on your last exercise level evaluation and your doctor's advice. Well, that means you can go with 3.
Yeah.
To interrupt your exercises, press the space bar. To resume, press it again. Ready to begin? Press enter.
Ta-da, here it is.
Okay, ladies, the wing stretcher.
Touch hands. Yeah,
Go
okay.
hands apart. Okay, this is still the wing stretcher, but they've got more reps.
Yeah, well, they have bigger wings. I know. Stop that.
8.
Oh.
Well, that's
it
funny
didn't
how this
count
one
for you.
counts down. Number 1 didn't.
Didn't count for you.
No, but that was level 1 for men. Maybe it's
Oh, is
like
that it?
you're just getting
Oh,
started
I
at
see.
it.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe either that or they figure the women won't do it unless they get some help.
Okay.
Don't write, do not send us nasty notes. We will not read them.
Touch toe. Stretch and hold briefly. Yes, this is back in 1978 when touching your toes was considered good exercise and not straining your back.
Back in 1978, we had better backs too. Now, they're not making them the right way that they made them back in those days. By the way, he says he'll look it up as soon as he stops exercising. Good answer. Good answer. Be sure and
Shows initiative.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, notice how this gives you the correct brief hold.
Yeah. And if the thing freezes on screen, it is not the fact that the exerciser has ruptured anything or has locked up their spine. It's that the program on the computer has malfunctioned. Try to keep that in mind.
I think if Tony Z ever modified this program, he'd show like an explosion as the disc goes out.
Yeah.
Or something like that. He would have played with it.
It displays the hyperextension.
That is the skinniest woman I've ever seen.
Well, it should be in fashion today.
Got a very strange head too, I gotta admit. But then that's probably more typical. Never mind. Did I do that again?
The body bender, bend to the left, bend to the right.
How about bending backwards? You know the old phrase, she'd bend over backwards to help you?
Anybody would.
Well, not anybody. These are women's exercises, so women bending over backwards is sometimes a help.
She goes beep when she
beeps
to the left and goes boom to the right.
Beeps and booms. Well, in Germany, there's a lot of boomsen.
Okay, sprinter, hands on the floor, alternate one knee to the chest.
Yeah, that's actually pretty good. It look like different legs. No, not bad programming, I have to admit.
Got the white stripe on the right leg.
Yeah, it's kind of nice, and I like how that works. Alternate one knee to the chest. One knee to the chest. Who the hell can put their knee on a chest? You've done so much. All right. I'm going to take a small nap.
Yeah, so the TI can not only balance your budget, entertain you, educate you, it can help you stay physically fit, track your nutrition.
It'll teach you how to signal Mayday if you're out on the water, which is exactly what this is. This is how you attract attention.
You
Ladies.
also use that to frighten off bears.
That's right, yeah, and get rid of the seagulls trying to land on your shoulders.
Well, they say to frighten off a bear to make yourself bigger, but I think that's about the last, you don't really have much time to make yourself bigger.
And remember this, boys and girls, bears can climb trees. So
They
your
may
best,
be able to climb them better than you.
yes, and so your best thing to do is if you see a bear, run like hell. Just keep moving and dodging too, because some of these bears can't move around the trees as fast as you can. And believe me, when you're pumping that adrenaline, you can really move. If you ever meet a bear,
Fingers laced needs that.
tell them I said so.
Remember, upright walking and running is an advantage in some
Yes, exactly.
situations.
Yes, even though it's given us chronic back pain since, there you go, Gail.
But it's always good, it's always considered successful not to be eaten or mauled by something else.
That's right, yes. Remember that we are supposed to be at the top of the food chain. Try and remind the bear of that as loudly as possible. Yell, bad bear, bad bear. But you have
Knee push-up, now that's different rather than a straight-legged push-up.
to, a knee push-up. Oh, well. Let's find your pulse.
Okay, I think we also have one. Here at
Some
home.
people after these exercises may not have one, in which case, don't call, don't write, no money back guarantees.
Okay, here at home.
The manual describes how this is done. And
Press enter to continue.
type in your count. Type in 179, see what it says.
Okay.
Stand by.
Okay. Yeah, I get so confused by this. Won't let me put in 3 digits.
Let's see.
240 beats a minute. Wow, it just went crazy. Please
Yeah.
again, press the LETM, whatever that is. Wow.
That's
Call
what
a
I-
doctor, you know.
Well, we crashed the program. The keyboard is now unresponsive.
Apparently, all this exercise has given the TI a stroke.
Yes, yes, the TI has had a heart attack. Let this be an example to you, boys and girls. Do not overstress your machine. Best to ignore this entire disk if need be.
Okay, anything else you want to run on here?
We ran EasyBug before. EasyBug is part of the mini memory that comes with the mini memory, right? EasyBug.
Yeah, that's right. EasyBug and the line-by-line assembler.
Downloading EasyBug. Now, how can we load this? Oh, we got it.
EasyBug. Oh. Modify CPU memory. Oh, that's
Okay,
something.
I don't know anything about this. I've never run EasyBug or had a mini memory. No, I left my phone with the timer down in the car too. I gotta know when it's like 3
So,
o'clock so I
isn't
can.
EasyBug
I can tell you.
essentially
I can tell you. Fortunately,
either a
this ancient
language
machine will tell you
monitor
it's
or a hex monitor
208.
Okay.
that allows you to inspect, modify,
Mhm.
or display.
You can also run an assembly program.
Right.
Mhm.
You can execute, load.
Aid displays the screen. Period, enter, minus, space. Okay. So we just got into this from Extended Basic. How do we load EasyBug from mini memory if we're trying to test the mini memory
So
card?
normally,
I
if
think
it would come on cassette, you would load it, because if you notice that.
Load storage from CS1.
You can plug that in.
But
This
I
is
think EasyBug.
maybe we
might
should show
actually-
everybody what that is
Yeah,
first.
yeah.
This is a mini memory cartridge
With a
with a
modification.
yes, a modification. Instead of having that damn
So,
battery inside, this one has it on the outside, and it uses 2 AAA batteries. Try it once without the batteries. It will not have any memory.
but I
Okay.
believe,
But-
isn't the EasyBug program stored in the ROM on the?
I believe it is, yeah.
It's the line-by-line assembler, if you want to do that, that's what you load from the set.
Yeah. For EasyBug, 2 for EasyBug.
Right.
And so there's
Yeah.
EasyBug.
So we have EasyBug.
Now-
The idea is that the mini memory was intended as a simple development tool.
Yeah.
So there was a program known as the line-by-line editor, which was assembly language, which is, a machine language assembler that was line-oriented rather than screen-oriented. It provided you a very, very rudimentary way of getting, writing assembly language programs and getting them into memory.
You can type in a program, any program, maybe Hello World or whatever, something like that, and then we'll turn it off, and it will disappear. But if we put the batteries in, then it should remain. So
Okay.
Right. and the
It's
idea
just I've
is
never had a
that-
mini memory,
right,
so
that
I've never
You
played
could
around.
actually store your assembled programs in the mini memory, and it will be persistent against.
Now, I think we did show the, I was wondering if Brett's gonna show up today. Did announce, time and place and third floor, so I imagine.
if you can't find the east room, he doesn't know where the lake is, because in Chicago, the lake is always east. Everything's.
I shoved announcements down all the other holes, all the other communication holes. And this month, the primary Yahoo group
I don't think you
moderators
you
smiled
can just
upon me and
load any
released my
program.
message in
Okay.
a timely manner.
Okay, I think, what did you say last time we ran this was, Jan Janowski made the cover of Micropendium with his portable TI
Yep.
for a ham festival.
Yep.
And he had the mini memory with his, I don't remember what programs he was running on the TI at that time.
Well, he had Camtronics.
Yeah, we can do a quick load and save of a test program.
Yeah, if we could just at least do a quick load, because you're much more
We
knowledgeable
can
about
do
this.
just do a hello world and then save it.
Sorry, I'm back to the old flat panel monitor rather than the
That's
tri-view.
okay,
I
that's
can only
fine.
carry so
We don't
much.
want you to destroy yourself.
Yeah.
We'll just have to figure out how to re-engineer it in space-aged,
Lightweight
Materials.
plastic, yes.
make everything out of transparent aluminum, which we call sapphire, but
Or we could,
something different. in the
or you
Star
could
Trek
do
world.
a virtual monitor where it just is a hologram. It comes out of something about the size of the eraser on an
Right, it's
average pencil.
It's all matter to energy energy to matter conversion, force fields, and light.
Yes, and you matter unless you multiply yourself by the speed of light, in which case you energy.
Okay, so I've just entered lovely TI Basic. Should probably have my glasses.
Can I?
Can't see anything anymore within arm's reach. Or at least
And what is
a
that?
little bit of a
That's
strain.
17th century technology, I believe. Glasses, spectacles.
Sure.
Were they invented
We're
about
gonna
1650 or something? Yeah.
A lorgnette.
We like old stuff here, boys and girls. We are old stuff.
Okay, so we're just gonna do a simple
You might want to check and make sure that
The
battery
alpha.
on this side is actually in.
in the correct orientation.
Yeah, because it looks like it's out. No, I guess it is in. I can see the spring is compressed.
Yeah.
It's a.
If he shows up, I'll go through these Chicago library discs
Okay.
that I promised for our new member.
Print. Do I need to have, the alpha box down?
Well, let's print something really nasty so that when it disappears, when we pull the batteries out, we won't miss it. Quote.
Hang on a second.
Screw you. Go ahead.
We'll
with
just
that.
do. Just to prove it is the present.
Okay.
Because everyone believes the internet. Videos on the internet
Now you
must be
need another
true.
quote, I think.
Yeah.
There we go. And
Hmm.
then a simple run.
Then we'll run, we'll just output that, no big deal, right?
Okay.
Outputs the literal string between everything between the quotation marks, and then
Yeah.
you can do so let's see, this is ANSI-ish basic, so.
Save old.
Right, so it is,
Lot in here,
um,
go through.
save. And I think it's just mini.
You gotta give it a name.
Well, I don't think it's that sophisticated. I don't think it really has a directory.
It only
name
saves in
structure.
one place.
Right, so you can save one basic program, Or if you want to save multiple programs, you can do that by loading and linking assembly language programs to different memory locations. But so like the idea would be maybe you would write a bunch of assembly routines and then you would call them the basic program, all stored in the mini memory.
So do we can just say save, right?
Save, and then I think it's mini mem, because we have to actually give it a device name, right?
Okay.
Okay.
And if we type new, okay, so it should be gone, right?
Huh.
Or is it error because there is nothing entered? Okay,
Can you
so old mini mem being the device.
Oh, it took that.
Yeah, there has to
Okay.
actually be a basic
There it is.
source. in
So
there.
it saved it to the cartridge.
Right, saved it to the
Yeah.
static RAM stored in the cartridge.
Okay.
So if we turn off the computer, pull the cartridge out, magic.
Now what are we gonna do? We're gonna,
So we're gonna leave it off for a second, take it out for a second. So in theory,
Yep.
because there are batteries on
it's really out,
there,
boys and girls, really. This is,
and there's a low power static memory in there. Actually, I think it's 2 chips.
no smoke, no mirrors.
It will, basically the batteries will maintain the power on the static RAMs in there, and we should be able to plug it back in, turn on the TI, and go to basic, and then recall our hello worldish kind of program. So I just plugged it in, turning it on, go back to basic, old mini RAM. There you go.
Right.
How about that?
So a useful hack. It may not be as cosmetically beautiful as having a proper coin cell battery in there, but finding the coin cell batteries of the correct type to fit in the
To
cartridge
solder them in?
Yeah.
even just finding the proper sized holder and battery, because it's a
Yeah.
composite battery and holder already the battery's already pre-welded into the holder.
Yeah.
Finding those is difficult.
I don't think in 1981 or
And buying one of
79,
them is probably not cost effective,
Yeah, if you buy 10, they're,
even if you could find.
that's a
them.
lifetime supply, and then by the time you put the second one in, it's already
it's
3/4 dead.
discharged, because
Yeah.
these things, yeah.
And right, but the idea is essentially, like in the case of the AAA batteries that are in there now, the chemistry of the batteries will fail long before you lose,
Yeah. Now, just for a test, let's take it out,
run the risk of actually.
And
running
we'll-
out of power.
take the batteries out,
Right, and let it actually
And-
reset the static
Yeah.
memories.
and let's see if,
And the static
If it-
memories will actually hold their charge for, depending upon the characteristics of them, for a little while in and of itself. So we'll probably leave it out for about a minute. Batteries are now out.
batteries are out, there's justification, batteries inside, yeah,
Batteries
and,
from
not
it.
included.
And,
Did they make a movie called that?
yeah, I think,
Well, that was my childhood.
exactly, yeah, right, yeah.
Um,
They give you whatever it is, and then they rent you the batteries.
Yeah.
You can't buy
Kids, anything
electricity.
that makes noise works until the batteries fail, then the cover comes off and the cover gets lost.
Yeah,
And so even if you get batteries, you
But
can't.
moral of the story, kids, is you don't want the batteries in the packaging.
I'm old
You
enough to
really
remember when everything was mechanical and made of tin, and you had to send off to Japan, and you had to put them. No, don't put them back in.
Okay.
Don't put them back in. We'll try it without.
Okay, so the batteries are not in.
That's right,
We're just
yeah.
gonna put the mini memory
Yeah.
back in.
Yeah.
And it should now have nothing in it. It should either give us an
Yes.
error when we try to
Unless
load.
there's capacitors like crazy. in
Well, I
here.
mean, there is some, the
Let's-
static memory does have some persistence of itself after power is off, but not minutes at a time.
Don't guarantee it,
No.
yeah.
Right. Because if you've ever played around with a first generation Apple II, that had a smaller amount of static memory in it. Sometimes just simply pushing the reset button didn't actually
Hmm.
do the trick. You had to actually turn it off, keep it off for 30 seconds or so, and then turn it back on.
Well, let's see what the
So if
answer
we
is
do
here.
hold
This is a TI, so you never know, boys and girls.
Error, warning, check program in memory.
Okay.
File error 57, meaning it cannot find a valid signature for any basic program in memory.
And putting the
Okay.
batteries back in.
Now, if we
bring
put
that
the back,
program
take
back.
it out of the slot, put the batteries
No,
back
the
in.
batteries are, the program is not magically stored in the energy of the batteries, it is stored in the memory cells of the
It's not
static
because
RAMs.
there's no batteries that can't access the program.
It's because the memory chips have reset to their default state.
Are we sure? This is, after all, a TI demo, so I don't think we can, make
Make that
any
assumption.
assumptions.
That the batteries are gonna ghostly transform and
Who knows?
reinstall.
Who knows? This is a TI demo. This is why people tune in internationally to
Right, that
find
it's, that
these.
it's operating
Oh,
circuitry.
yeah,
rather than
yeah,
maintaining
exactly.
This is
memory.
exciting, boys and girls. This is exciting.
Okay, batteries are back in,
Ah, there they are, right there, back in.
and we should
Ta-da.
still get an error when we load it because
To
the
go with
static
some
RAM is
drum roll
volatile.
or something.
Last test was key on engine off. Now we're going to do a key on engine on.
Okay, here we go.
Back
Now-
to basic.
Now, if this shows up, then we have,
Then we should like sacrifice some chickens and
That's it,
rotate
yeah.
everything in this, 90 degrees.
yep.
So,
Then we know it's the library effect.
right, so that was what I expected.
Yeah.
So putting the batteries back in. doesn't-
Nevertheless,
The
it was
batteries
exciting.
maintain the persistence of the static RAMs inside the cartridge. It is not just simply operating some
Mhm.
electrical device. That
And
power
in
is
order
required
to remove a program that you've put in and you no longer want because you want to put another program in, you can simply type in that program number and it should erase, right?
Well,
if you
the
could-
idea is you'll just do another save command and it will just save over whatever is currently saved.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Yeah.
So you would type a new program and
Yeah.
then save it back to the.
So if you're going to, but remember to get rid of all the steps in the program because otherwise you're going to have that artifact at
Right.
the tail end
Or
of
you
your.
could just type new and before you type in a new program.
Will that do it as well? That'll
Yeah,
erase.
so like say for instance here, I can demonstrate it. Right now.
Okay.
So we'll do it again, 10, print.
I know.
I
It's a
know,
little different.
the
It's a little
keyboard's a little
difficult.
different than.
Yeah, you
what
have
I'm
to
accustomed
stop and think about it.
Ta-da.
There you go. You found it.
So then we can do maybe look at 20, go to 10. That way it will annoy you for the, oops.
It's run rather than rum. Another Freudian slip here. We got,
And I just did it again.
just did it again. Oh, that is Freudian.
You know where I'm going after the meeting.
Yeah.
And then, let's see here. Break a running program on the
Function
TI.
4.
Function, not control.
Function 4. 4. Function. There you
Okay, so now we have, a two-line basic program that is essentially an infinite loop, being the annoying tourist or friend or whatever, asking you how are ya? Constantly.
If we were in Waukegan, they'd say, how you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing? They don't say, how are you? How you doing? Just like that.
Okay, so we're gonna save it to the mini-mem. Typing is terrible today. But that's okay, it's what it was all the way. So if I type
Atlanta.
new
San
command,
Fernando. What do I have
it will
here?
reset the basic memory pointer, which will give us nothing, so it'll give us an error when we try to list a non-existent program.
Okay.
So now we can retrieve our program from mini memory.
Mhm.
Spell the whole thing out.
Isn't there a lines program that you needed mini memory for it to use?
Well, there's lots of programs out there that will take advantage of the extra static RAM. The other advantage of the mini memory is if you didn't have 32K memory expansion, the memory in the mini memory is actually on the processor bus rather than the VDP memory bus. So you can basically now change the workspace pointer in there, and you have more memory that you can work with to give yourself.
And there's another
operational
advantage for all those people who, like me, started out with no cassette recorder, no way to store anything. If
Yeah.
you type a program that the kids just love, it will actually then keep that program viable, and so they can run it again
Until
without
they get
having
tired
to.
of it, until they want to
Exactly.
type a new game.
Until you buy a P-box. Yeah.
Until they graduate from college and can buy their own damn P-box.
That's it. That's it. In those days, that's about it too. This whole system costs $1,500. That's without any cartridges. And then you add in the $215 TI writer and the $90 or $79 parsec and on and on.
So
Okay.
now
Send in
we'll
5
demonstrate the
box tops and get a
saving a
get a
different
pizza
program.
this
So
time.
like I will do once again the new command, which will reset the basic pointer. No program in memory, so we'll do another program. We'll start.
But the program is still there.
So what it does is it resets the top of the basic pointer. So in theory, if you went into EasyBug and we looked at the VDP RAM in the appropriate location, we could probably,
We got Easy Bug.
yeah, if I remember,
Yeah.
I remember the commands.
Okay, no pressure.
But yeah, you could, and also the VDP memory architecture as well. Yeah, most of that basic program will still be in memory. I think it will just basically walk over the first couple bytes, or it may just reset a pointer. I don't remember specifically how the TI handles addressing the basic text in memory.
did I not give
There
you?
used to be once upon a time on all different types of platforms, new programs as a result of people accidentally fast fingering a new command when they didn't really mean to do that.
Yeah.
I'm sure the TI is no exception to
Yeah.
that they're probably
Well, there's no keyboard
But they're
buffer.
probably-
You can only type so fast on this thing.
right. You don't have a screen editor. There's no keyboard buffer. It's not a full screen editor. It's basically line oriented.
Yeah, I'm used to when I had my TIM running, the TI image maker. That was the second of the 80 column devices for the TI that fit in the console. It cheated. It used the Yamaha 9938 video chip, and it had like 45K more of VDP
That's good. Yeah. How
memory.
you doing? Just like that. Yeah.
And
Not even a question. It's just a statement. How you doing?
How you doing? That's
With that,
that's a Waukegan program. Yeah.
with that extra video memory, the Tim was able to run split screen
Okay, so if I save
text. He
this,
loaded 2 text files and scroll one on the top and switch to the bottom half of the screen and scroll through that.
okay, so now that's gone. Old mini
Mem.
Why do I keep
Mini
typing
me.
in? Okay, so now it should be the Waukegan variant of the Hello World.
Not unless you make it list.
Yes.
There you go. There you go.
So you just basically save over the pre-existing stored program. It's
Now that will not come back. The other program is.
the other program has
was-
essentially been overwritten now.
Okay.
I mean, once again, you can get into with very large programs. If you're saving a very small program over a previously saved very large program, if you know how to go in there with EasyBug, you can still probably see the bits and pieces that are left behind.
Yeah.
Now, will they show up when you're running the program, for instance? Will that show
You
up as
couldn't-
artifacts?
No, because it basically will set a top of memory pointer or a program length pointer or something like that in the basic. I'm sure there are ways, once again, if you go in with EasyBug, you can manipulate it. And you could perhaps get some of that stuff back, but the default operating capability of the TI-99-4A will not permit you to do that.
Will that restrict the amount of memory that you have then? If there is something already printed in there, and you won't be able to?
No, you won't fill it up because I think it just starts from address 0 in the cartridge and works its way up. The first address in memory.
I mean, if there's leftover artifacts,
But I
in
mean,
there, then you wouldn't be able to have as big a program if you had,
No, I mean, if you were doing something wacky like trying to chain load stuff out of your mini memory cartridge, but that would probably require some assembly language program to do that, or some type of like RAM disk program to make it behave like a disk rather than just a bulk storage device.
Can you look at the contents with something like John Birdwell's program, and can you see it like you could?
So what is? You'll have to refresh my memory and tell me what John Birdwell's program was.
DiskU.
DiskU.
Which is a sector editor, basically.
Sector editor.
Right.
For floppy.
So
is that what EasyBug?
Right. That's sort of like for memory. So EasyBug is to memory as what DiskU is to disk and bulk storage.
Okay.
That allows you to examine it and modify information on a low level. So not disk in this case, it's a memory address range of storage in the processor address space.
Okay. All right.
So actually, to EasyBug.
Yeah.
So like say for instance, basic programs are generally stored in BDP memory.
Okay.
Or which is also probably shared with like I think graphics RAM, but I think they're each individual piece of memory, ROM, the VDP RAM, and any sort of graphics RAM are all kind of independently addressed devices.
You can load here from CS1. I say you can save CPU memory.
Right.
I presume this is now in CPU memory, right?
Well, it's
whatever program.
Well, the basic program. I think the basic program text is stored in VDP memory.
Well, where was EasyBug hiding out? In the 32K here?
So
Because you still have that one.
So there is, I think, a GROM in the mini memory cartridge in addition to the static RAM, and the GROM holds EasyBug.
Oh, okay.
And I think.
Yeah.
Line by line assembler?
Well, you can load the line by line
okay.
assembler into it, I think. The idea would be that you could load the line by line assembler from the cassette.
Yeah, that was, I
And
remember
then
that.
save it into the mini memory, and then you can also work on your assembly language programs in the mini memory. So it's actually, book fair.
You should see my garage. I gotta get rid of them.
Vic's Book Fair. Yeah, so it's actually fairly a generic device, but because it's sort of generic memory, and it has some persistence because of the battery, it's actually a pretty versatile device.
Mm-hmm.
Just be nice if it had more memory. But, considering back in the day what it cost you for this stuff, it was probably a good sort of intermediate thing that maybe before you ponied up the dough for a 32K memory expansion or a P box and a host of
Well, then
cards.
you get
This is
into
a
assembly
buyback.
programming without a P box, without the 32K, without the disk drive.
Yeah. And it was probably $100 and a quarter or something for these things. So once upon a time, they were not cheap by any means, but they helped a lot of people do a lot of programming. And the V. Now, how does that? Well, of course, we don't have the manual. I will look and find if we're interested at all.
I might have a manual.
Did I not
on
give
the
you guys
tablet.
manuals?
You did give it. I do have.
Yeah,
I do have a manual for it. But
Yeah, I
don't
thought I
have it
handed
with
those
me.
out.
And I might have a scanned copy of it on the tablet somewhere, but
Well,
It's a scanned copy and not a printed copy.
Next time,
Yeah,
next
can
time.
we do a G and display the grab memory? It looks like
Well, I
that
think it's gonna
won't
be
modify it.
Right, so G, well, I think I need to do G, sorry. Right, it's just showing us 1 byte at a time, it looks like.
Mhm.
Um,
Oh, okay.
And then what did it say? I think it was aid.
Yeah, I'm spoiled with stuff like DiskU and stuff like that, where you got your hex and then you got your
Yeah,
ASCII display.
Right, I'm used to a more feature-rich monitor as well, where it will give you hex value
Mhm.
and an ASCII representation,
Yeah.
and, maybe an address mode, maybe disassembly. But this was
Uh-huh.
intended to be a really simple program.
Yeah,
So that would be,
we may be able to actually read something there because if you
right,
notice,
you
know,
could sit there and you could convert that.
well,
I just didn't want to modify the CPU memory at this point because that's modifying something. I didn't know. if
Right,
you would
not
let
to
me
mention-
Look at it first.
Not to mention, you don't want to start modifying stuff when you've got
no, you don't want to
peripheral
do that.
expansion
No,
with storage sitting on the end of
no,
it,
let's,
unless you know what you're doing.
see, this is why
Because the last thing I'd want to do is,
Yeah, 'cause it said-
infiltrate the CF7 card's operating system or
Yeah.
do something
that's why I stay away
unkind.
from DiskU, because I know how much damage I can do.
Yeah, on me, it was actually Craig Miller's.
And then the mini memory program is also, kind of like analogous to like a lot of other programs where it's just a simple utility to
What does
load
reinitialize
and
do?
run. I think that actually
Wait,
physically clears the RAM. It will
okay,
actually
try
go
that. We'll
through.
just once, if that, just so long as we don't physically clear anything out, but
Yeah, that should be fine. And I just hit it and it just blanks the screen and there should be nothing in there now. So if I go and
Max
reset,
one for basic.
yeah.
Yeah, I
now
went
if I
through
do
with,
old Minimap, it
was
should
it we were
be
bashing last month, Craig Miller? I used his advanced diagnostics and I blew a
It's
few
gone now.
discs with that.
Nothing there. Okay, then that's how
by
you.
Not precisely following his
and that's if you
instructions.
want to make sure there is nothing in it. So it probably just zeros it out
Yeah.
completely.
Yeah.
And maybe there might even be a mild memory test. Who knows? That if you've got a bad memory element in it.
We can always look at Easy Bug and find out,
Right, it'll probably
everything's
give
been
you more
zeroed.
Yeah.
technical information about what it's capable of.
Yeah.
And then the other thing too is, it's like if someone ever wanted to, like, I don't know if we have a pin if anyone in the community has developed a pin compatible GROM replacement, or if someone still has programmable GROM stock from back in the day, if that it was even a thing, I don't know. If someone wanted to update EasyBug to something, more user-friendly, more information. But I mean, the idea was that it was an entry-level tool. It was to get you started, and it didn't cost you the price of a 32K memory expansion, the cost of the editor assembler package, and then maybe even a P-box. If as probably sidecar memory expansions became less common down the road once the P-box became more ubiquitous.
Oh, Francisco is with us.
Oh, okay.
Francisco, Uga. The letters are so tiny without my spectacles, I
Well,
can't.
if he's on, then I should probably load TI Rex again.
Okay, well. I
Okay,
think
let's pull that thing out of there and let Vic get on with,
We'll let Vic
yep.
resume control.
And I will pull these out just for the hell of it.
So you actually do some work with it, right?
Yeah, because get my remote for the TV.
We should all have
again.
a hack night where we bring our TIs together and we can work on a programming project, right?
Yeah.
Or edit documentation or whatever our skill set is.
Our skill set, my skill set includes being able to turn the computer on and off, etc. And that's it. Yes, I rarely miss the on-off switch. Get it in the second try if I do.
Hey, I didn't totally bore everyone to death. There's still a
No.
few people watching.
Yes, and I learned a lot.
Okay.
I've got to bring my little tablet thingy and see if that still works. Have a day.
Okay, there's nothing on this disk. There's some disks I haven't run through before I came here. I just wanted to. All right, maybe it was on 3. Oh, wait, since we got this card in. Are we on 4 or are we on VMods? We're on VMods. I wanted a different card in the Nano. Can you believe this thing came with a 3D printed box that kept you from getting at the cartridge?
That doesn't sound like
No,
a
no, I
very
didn't.
user-friendly option.
I didn't quite understand that
No, my
unless you.
guess is that someone made the assumption that, the largest flash card available that was commonly affordable back when that was engineered was probably all the space you would ever want or need.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
every-
You only ever put one card in there.
Yeah.
Well, wasn't it Bill Gates himself who said 640K, that'll hold them.
No,
Who
that's
never
what they used
needs
to say
more than
about
that?
C-
Yeah.
That's what they used to say about 64K and CPM system. So
Yeah.
You can't do it with 64K, you can't do it at all.
That's right. Well, we started out with 16K and
And not even processor direct RAM, so
Yeah.
it's quite an unusual beast.
Yeah.
You
It's on this one.
basically have,
for $1,500, yeah, back in the day, and it was magic then.
yeah,
And for me, it's still magic because I have no idea how the tricks are done.
Okay.
a very tiny amount of processor direct memory and a whole lot of complicated software to kind of produce a virtual machine environment that uses the cheaper dynamic RAM hanging off of the VDP.
But it
Yeah.
was exciting.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Oh, I mean-
Well, it was an interesting solution to a problem, is what I was saying. It may not have been the best solution in some people's books, but it was an interesting solution that,
Yeah.
static memory of the speed necessary to run the CPU was very expensive at the time, whereas dynamic RAM was getting cheaper and cheaper.
Yeah.
And since they had to, create custom silicon to do the video controller anyway, it wasn't that much probably more difficult to do build a RAM refresh controller into it as well. That was kind of the common solution back in the day with computers to be able to handle dynamic RAM,
Yeah.
since it needed to be periodically refreshed or it would lose its memory.
And who the hell knew the difference? 99% of us had no clue what
Right.
the difference was. And
Right, unless you're an
Yeah.
assembly language programmer and maybe have a little bit of knowledge of the hardware, you probably wouldn't know.
when I flip the switch, the lights go on. When I turn the
You
key,
get a
the
menu,
engine
you get a
starts. That's all
splash
I gotta
screen,
know.
you mash the keyboard, you get a menu.
That's it, yeah. This is cool with the little.
Oh, yeah.
swing.
Yeah, this is just a folder called Games on the Final Ground. And this has a whole bunch of games in this one collection. And what's nice is when you quit these games, it actually gets you back to this screen.
Mhm.
So we've got 2 screens of games.
Yeah, Eric Olson did me a nice treat. He gave me one of his extra, what is it, Flash ROM 99 cartridges, so maybe I'll do some playing around with that in the near future. I think he upgraded to a Final ROM, as many people have, but, I don't like to just discard things because the final ground is slightly more convenient.
No.
I mean, I have Uber ground cartridges for the things that I really need ground for, and
Yeah. It's a
the Flash ROM 99 card I can see all sorts of interesting uses for. So
Game I've never
stand by.
played.
Also, if anyone is in contact with Eric Olson, ask him if he ever got the package I sent him back.
Listen, Eric, if you're watching right now, send us a message. Can you read that? I without my glasses, I can see it, but I can't actually make it out.
This is Francisco Uga, or however it's pronounced.
Okay.
He's using the nickname, was it Daiku MG? He said that he has given also a TI Pong to Victor. It's on Atari Age.
Okay.
For TI Basic, that'd be a Frost TI. It's on Game Show. So I assume
I'm
that's,
trying to hit the one with the question mark.
That's Walid's TI Game Show.
You catch the mushroom and it makes you giant Mario.
That gives you invulnerability. Better watch out. Nintendo may send us a cease and desist order. Especially if this isn't a licensed game. Or YouTube might pull our content.
Oh yeah, YouTube is so careful
Or,
about that
or
kind of
worse,
stuff. Yeah.
forced monetization to compensate for the
Yeah.
horrible deeds we have done.
Oh, yeah.
Oh no.
This is another one of the games that would not run with the F18 firmware volume 1, version 1. I had to upgrade it because it didn't show most of the stuff that's on the screen. Now you can go into the underworld. Yeah, the whole thing in Mario.
I mean, that looks like a pretty faithful port.
Uh-huh.
I was going to say, I understand this must be pretty much what was intended, because it looks pretty good. But having never played it,
I think
trying
the turtles kind of slow bounce, but when you knock them off,
I missed the star.
no vulnerability for you.
Yeah, I think you got to pick up like 1,000 coins to, there, I actually managed to, now there's
There's a little
a clue. They don't do anything without a, oh, I screwed myself there.
Oops.
And again, well, that's how I usually
Down
end
the
this
hole.
game, yeah.
That summarizes my game playing skills. Do some stuff poorly and then fall down a hole.
that's why I don't play games.
That's why I like turn-based games and
Zero Zap is my favorite. That's it.
You know, I don't mind the arcade style stuff when I wasn't, when I was younger, but today,
As long as it's not costing you 25 cents.
well, back then I didn't care that much either. It was like, how can I get the 25 cents to play it? But,
Yeah.
but I mean, that was the nature of computer games and cartridges and game consoles. That
And those
you had a one-time cost, and then you would play it to death, and then you eventually get tired and you could buy something.
and then take it back to the store and
Yeah, you might get
trade it for
credit.
something
I have to
else.
go feed a meter, so if
Uh,
somebody wants to challenge Francisco,
It's only $2.49, by the way.
that's okay, because when did we get into the, I'll put a couple an hour
1
and a half
o'clock.
on it. That's longer
Just,
we need.
just,
Yeah, you probably have another 10 minutes, but
it's up to you. We'll be out of here in an hour. So
Yeah. Yeah, let me feed it now. I can use the washroom and you can change Francisco's hike
I'll play
score.
TI
I
Rex.
think they did Mars Attacks game too. That we ran a couple years ago.
I have no idea what TI Rex
I
is.
think I've seen this demoed before, but,
This is-
oh yeah, this is
This is
sort of like-
Francisco's program, so Francisco, we're gonna run your program here.
and I'm gonna probably die
And we're-
repeatedly.
Home automation design. Whoever that
Oh yeah,
is.
this is not
So I happen to
a,
be here again, I can read that. Basically, I've made Frost TI, it's on game shelf. Let's see, Dolphin, it's on Atari Age. I give to Victor and TI Pong. All right, so Francisco, where's Francisco?
game over.
Doco MG. Okay, here we go. T-Rex.
And you're basically supposed to leap over objects that are coming at you.
And not land on a cactus, I presume?
Yeah, I think that's always a bad idea.
No, I've never liked landing on a cactus. T-Rex. It's when you have to make a choice between bird or, oh, that was good. That was good.
I'm gonna hit the cactus.
Yeah, see,
I should have
that's,
delayed a little bit there.
yep, there's, that's cactus.
And it's sort of a one and done game.
Yep. You don't get a second chance after you got a cactus up your butt. I mean, come on. What would be left? Oh, oh. Even a dinosaur doesn't like a cactus in its fanny. And I don't blame it any.
Too
Nice
soon.
graphics. Yeah, they are good graphics. I love that scrolling back and foreground and background. That's a very nice effect. But can we get it in pink? You know, no matter what anybody ever created, there was always somebody that asked for something more. Bruce Harrison used to get really annoyed. He would write these wonderful programs, and then somebody would write in and say, yes, but could you do it in such and such a way? Make a modification just for that person. Finally, Bruce just said he had a universal response to that sort of thing.
Wasn't there a Henry Ford quote?
It was,
That you can have it in any color so long as it's black?
yeah.
Or was that the telephone company?
No, that was Henry Ford. That was the Model T. You can have it in any color as long as it's black. But and I make you and that cactus. Poor T-Rex.
No wonder why they were extinct.
I mean, that's hard on the hemorrhoids.
Yeah.
So is getting poked by whatever that was. Pterodactyl.
Pterodactyl.
Oh, I see. If you hit it, it's okay. You just can't let it hit you. Is that the way
No,
it
I
works?
think if you are pretty far behind it doesn't register a collision.
You can. I see. No, see, it hit you there. I think if you land on top of it, maybe.
Oh, that's it. That was quick. Would you like to give it a try, Hal? All you have to do is mash the space bar. It's very easy. Very easy game in terms of the basic operation.
Oh,
Not necessarily easy to score high.
well,
As I said, usually this is the default mode for me where
I
I do
don't-
some things poorly.
I don't
And
need
then
to
end up-
embarrass myself before a multitude of people here.
Is 5 a multitude?
His
One of which
record-
is me.
His record is 4,126.
Aye, aye, aye. I think I would get
That's
tired before that.
game over.
I don't think I'm going to break 1,000 before we have to leave here.
Depends on how many times you play. If you add them all up.
I should just write a program to optically scan the screen and do the
Oh,
compute.
there you go.
mash the space bar for me.
I'm sure there must be a way to automate this so that, it reads what the optimum is, and then
Gives you
each time, can you go underneath that?
Yeah,
thing?
that would be nice if you could do that, but I'm not sure if you
I don't know,
can.
let's find out if we can go underneath the bird. No,
Can
No.
run head.
that was the answer to that one. Apparently, it doesn't hurt if you just hit the tail.
Right, if you're just beyond it, it's not quite so bad.
On the other hand,
If you land square on it,
but it's a nice game. It's says let's see. I don't think your record will be broken today.
certainly not
I've
by
been very
me.
lucky, he says. Yeah. Well,
That's it for me. Keep running mission.
does the height that you jump, does that vary
Don't think so.
by the speed of the?
Too early.
Can't jump twice in a row, eh?
No.
When you have to come down before you. These two cacti, things are a little tough to get over.
Especially if there's a pterodactyl coming at you at the same time.
Yeah, right. It's.
You got to get it just right. Some of them, I think, the
I don't even know if you
solution.
can hit it just right.
Well, some of the solution is I think you have to come down between the ones that you don't think you want to come down in between the two cacti and jump again. I just died. First jump of the day.
Uh,
I should say jump of the game.
No, should have.
Right.
Nice parallax scrolling. Hi, Hal. From Tops, Alex. Home automation design notes. Hi, Hal. I'm Tops. Alex. Well, hi, Alex. One pull, one. Dave Zippel.
And I think it just got faster.
Hey, Dave. Glad to see you. When are you going to come to the next
Well,
fair?
I actually broke 1,000 that time.
All right. Well, that's the high score then.
Okay, now it's
Wow.
time for the rum.
Woo. Well, I won't even try that. I suppose you get better.
Yeah, as you
when
do it,
when
you kind of get
try
better
it,
at judging when you should
most
jump.
things in life, Maybe not that, but
Not this time, though.
well, there's a little break in the action. I'm going to remind everybody that the fair this year is November the 1st.
It's the
And
first
there'll
or
be,
the second?
oh God, don't do that to me. All right. It's the first Saturday in November. Check it out. Whatever the
Someone
date
look at
is.
a calendar for us. I
Yes.
thought it was the second, but
Oh,
I
wait
could
a
be
minute.
wrong.
Okay.
I often am.
Wait, I'm often wrong, but I'm always confident. Let me check the calendar here for November. If I can, oh God. November, the first Saturday is the 2nd. Sure enough. Well, the fair starts on the Friday with the usual
Yeah.
suspects in the
So I
gathering.
guess the pre-gathering, whatever they're calling it, I guess it was.
Yep.
They were calling it Shy Friday. Now it's whatever, I think, which is sort of a gathering of the early arrivers.
Yeah.
At the hotel of choice, whatever that is. I think is that the Holiday Inn?
No, it's, I
Livingston, or
think,
is
I
that-
think some of the people are gathering, independently, I might add,
Well, that's what I mean.
at the, Hilton Garden Express or whatever, Hilton
Yeah.
Garden, I guess it is. And, Francisco says for scrolling, he used the, XB 256 routines. So, if you know what those are, that's what he used.
Vaguely.
The,
So extended basic 256 routines.
Veterans Day, Election Day, oh God, not another election. I can't take any more elections. I'm opting for monarchy, a benevolent monarchy.
Well, if things go as they
Too
have
many.
been, we might have
Okay.
anarchy.
Oh.
But,
Now you beat me to it. It went down to feet a meter.
So what's your high score?
I think 1,401.
I've gotten up to 4.
What is Ken's?
I think he's in excess of 4,000.
Oh, gosh, yeah, I see at the chat.
4126.
I hope you got a kick out of that.
It's interesting. It's kind of fun. It's one of those games that, it's somewhat mildly addicting that, it's like, you play and you're like, oh, anyone should be good at this game. And then you realize you're not. And so you start playing it. And the next thing you know, an hour has gone by
Yeah,
that you'll never get back.
that's right.
And yet you've managed to you haven't done proportionately better in your game.
How did you manage to do this without all the pterodactyls here?
I'm landing on the pterodactyl, and apparently that destroys them. Yeah, but not landing on a cactus.
Yeah.
What was that one game? There was the hen house game that was a clone of Joust, where you have a flying ostrich or something,
Yeah,
and you have a
I think
lance.
you demoed it once.
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I've just been lucky where I've been landing on top of the pterodactyl. Yeah, I missed him that time. See, I landed in front of him.
Now,
The other ones I was landing like right on his wing.
I think if we decided that if you land behind him, behind the, see if you land.
Ouch.
Yeah,
Ow.
that had to hurt.
Oh.
Yeah, that's gonna leave a
That's-
mark. Yeah.
Ooh.
Now we play slow, sad music. So what else you got there, kiddo?
I have more on this one flashcard.
So like games like those would be insidious to put on like mobile devices that have internet access because you could actually turn them into like Bitcoin miners or something like that.
Yeah.
Basically,
Yeah.
you solving the jump problem solves Bitcoin equations.
Well, let's.
There's another thing I've never understood is Bitcoins. Who gives out Bitcoins? How do you get a Bitcoin? What does a Bitcoin cost? And what can
It's
you do
it's
with
all
the
funny
Bitcoin?
money all the time.
Yeah,
That's
I
what
mean,
it boils down to. However, there is perceived value in it, and therefore people will exchange real currency for it or use real resources to
why would anyone do that?
because why would anyone
Why would anyone
why
want?
would anyone trust the government to give them money?
Because everybody else will accept a greenback dollar.
Right. And
But-
the idea is in that case, if you have enough people that because I mean U.S. currency is fiat currency more or
It's a
less.
world standard, yeah.
Right. It's your typical dollar bill in your pocket has no intrinsic value other than the will of the government to.
You can light your cigar with it if you also happen to
Oh,
have a
everybody
match.
knows that Fort Knox is empty, that the Illuminati shipped out all the gold to the Rothschilds
Well, it's
overseas
not just a matter of-
decades ago.
Not just a matter of that.
Yeah, I read that on the internet, so it must
Must
be
Must
true.
be true, yeah,
Yes.
must be true.
No, it's
Yeah.
just the government hasn't backed most of the currency in
Not
any
since
sort of,
1969.
any sort of material that has any intrinsic value. It's all.
Some people were
basically-
very clever. They saved all their silver certificates and went and turned their silver certificates in on the last day when a silver certificate was worth $1.25 and made 25% on their money by having done nothing other
Then
And
wait to the
just-
last minute.
wait.
I wish I got rewarded for waiting till the last minute, but it always seems like punishment to me.
Yeah, well, I've never been able to make any money, so that's why I'm poor. Always will be poor. Acer C, what is that?
Super Space Acer.
Oh, space Acer.
Running this from disk 2, I'm not sure it'll pick up if it has boot tracking on it. And I guess not. Okay, so try. We'll unmount disk 1. And where was that at? 20.
Why did you have to unmount one if you're going to go back to one?
Well, according to one brand, you don't have to unmount a disk, like electronically remove it from the drive before you put in a new one, because the new one will overwrite it. But if you have a disk that's smaller, has less data on it than the one that's in there, there could be corruption and stuff
Yeah.
left on the tail end, like James was explaining about.
Yeah, or
Mini
like,
memory
like sound,
doesn't have that problem.
like sound effects, yeah.
Yeah, but apparently this does. So I usually take the precaution of unmounting what's ever in a drive before I put in the next disk.
Makes sense.
Now, by calling EA from RXB, you get this menu. Well, you
I
could
do-
set the path
And if Lee
names.
is watching, he'll talk to you about that, I'm sure.
I do that
Yeah.
with my regular
Yeah.
P-box. I always take the one disc out before I put the second disc
Yeah.
in because,
No, I did that a bunch of times after he said I don't really have to do that. And then I ran into once where it happened.
and the real hardware?
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
No, I mean on the,
On the maybe on the
Compact
compact
flash.
flash, so you corrupted a disk image.
mhm.
Well, I still remember with sound effects, I've discovered that that same type of thing. When I played the oh, what a relief it is, B-D-D-D-D, oh, what a relief it is, and then I played the one that said the Eddie Murphy quote is, "Let me just whip it out,"
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
it was, "Oh, what a relief it is," and if you play them one right after the other, it was kind of funny.
Actually, on my original sound effects discs, they were formatted at, let me see if I can get this straight, 16 sectors per track on a MyArc disc controller. And nobody really does that anymore. It was right after MyArc came out with their disc controller, everybody decided to go with 18 sectors per track.
Right.
So I have a lot of sound effects files that do not play correctly, that they do that. And however, somebody did have a fix for that on how to copy the tracks or copy the files correctly to where they would run right. But yeah, I've still got a set of it. I got to relearn how to convert stuff from 16 sectors per track to an 18 sector per track.
Yeah.
What is CYY? What written?
That's C99.
Oh, C99.
Yeah, that
Oh,
must be.
Okay.
Using logic, there is nothing called the CYY that
Okay.
should be C99, but it cut the top of the
Yeah,
number
okay,
off.
that, you know.
Yeah.
I'm an old guy and I'm not wearing my glasses, boys and
Well,
girls. So
Super
do not
Space
write,
Acer.
do not write in here.
Yeah, and I did ask a programmer once, why is everything on the TI always Dungeons of Fear 2 or something like that, number 2? I says, wasn't there ever a number 1? He said, yeah, on a different system. And then when it's ported to the TI, to avoid confusion,
Right.
they give it the number 2. So I don't know if there's a Space Acer, but this is Super Space Acer.
1992.
Press fire to begin. Okay.
The fine art of blowing up.
I presume that when there's.
Anything that touches you blows up
Yeah,
your shit.
that's not a good thing, right? That's,
Okay, so you can't,
Can't touch
those
the
green things, you can't shoot them.
okay.
You know, it gets me on, let's try that again, but I can't play and talk at the same time. Here we go,
Okay.
Val.
No, okay, no. I'll talk and you
James?
play.
A lot of these games I find very vexing where you're battling opponents and they fire a missile or something.
Here is another segment where Jim plays a game.
Mhm.
Or
Well, I don't know the last time anybody saw Super Space Acer. But your opponent fires a missile or a bomb, or you're going through a mine-infested
Or a
river,
turd or something.
and boy, your opponent can just fly right over the mines or through his own bullets and stuff like that, and that doesn't affect them. But boy, anything touches you, and
What's the red thing around the spaceship
I
at
think
first?
it's a
force field, I
shield
believe.
for a brief
Can
moment.
you
Yeah.
just leave the force field on?
Be nice.
Possibly you get a force field after so many. Well, there is no points counter here. Yeah, if we could like finish a screen, we might learn something on this.
I'm getting riskier. And I'm rewarded for that risk.
Yeah, a friend of mine who's not a video gamer complained about video games. He says, I don't
you
get
shot
it.
me from behind.
You go through this
bastard.
very difficult effort of like Pac-Man to clear the screen, and there's a power up there.
If I don't die before I get it.
Try the alpha lock off. Maybe you can move up on the screen. There you go. Oh, this might make it a little easier,
Yeah.
folks. It's like playing Car Wars and not knowing that you can press the fire button and go twice as fast as the chase car.
Now I've got a different
You
fire
can?
Well, I just figured out that with Car Wars, somebody told me you can slow the action down. I'd never been able to play Car Wars more than 2 seconds at all, and I gave up on that one.
That is going to be a hardware project I'm going to try to work on this summer, is putting in a 555 timer on the load interrupt
Yeah.
and putting a
Yeah, I mean
little
that was a common hack back in the day
Yeah.
for different systems to basically
and put it in a speech module where there is no cartridge, and slowing down your TI. That was the name of the article, Micropendium, slow down your TI.
because that's what everyone
Boys and
needs.
girls, we have a complaint here that the camera needs to refocus. We can't refocus the camera because the camera is in the computer, and that's just
Could there be a smudge over the lens?
Can you?
no.
What does it look like on the display there? Could he have?
It looks pretty. To me, it looks okay.
My
But
guess is you may be having issues between your ISP and YouTube.
well, it's pretty blurry there. If you see game over, it doesn't. You can't.
Yeah.
Well, should I put the monitor back on the table? It
No,
doesn't have to be on the P box.
No, I think it's just a matter either of the fact that this game is a little bit hard for the camera to pick up because there's so much black. I don't know, because some of the other things have been
We
very
have
readable.
played with that, like using
I'll try moving
the
it
menu
closer
screens that are white on
and then
black.
tilting it back a little bit.
I think
And then the other problem it might be having is because we are not square on the TV, on the monitor.
no, it's fuzzy. It is fuzzy, and we don't know why that is.
Either that or your Wi-Fi switch back to either that or my hotspot went off and you switch back to the library Wi-Fi.
The image is not in focus. Well, we can't do anything about that. Sorry.
Yeah, I know some of these,
We
we've
don't
gone
know.
through this with the web cameras on
Come
different
to the
web
meeting and show
cameras.
us how to fix it.
Yes, you're cordially welcome.
So let me check and make sure that we are still on
Oh, is that what we're on? We're not on the library.
Yeah,
Ah.
the library would be far worse.
Oh.
Which is why I'm looking right now to make sure we are still actually on it. Yeah, I still see your computer on it.
Okay, see, it is, see how fuzzy it is?
Yeah, I think there's some smudging on if you polish the display and you had it square,
No, it's,
well, you're getting some glare from
There,
the
see, look,
lighting ahead
look.
above.
watch this, see that? See how clear it is now? I think it's the
Right.
game itself.
It is the contrast of the game, but you're also, some of it is glare from overhead and the angle. So,
Get a new bag?
yes, my old one failed.
It's still very clear. Now of course, now we're very clear on the ceiling, but,
And of course, everything's backwards on this thing.
and now, believe it or not, I think we're getting more glare.
Can we turn the light that's directly
Well, here,
overhead off?
Let's move it back. I'll put the monitor on the table.
No, wait a
So
minute,
it's
wait a
not,
minute.
yeah, I gotta agree.
You don't wanna make it any, it just got worse. Well,
Worse because the light went off, or?
no, worse because, it was too close at that point, but now it's a little better. When it stops moving, it'll get better.
Here. Yeah, let's try to,
Well, look, I mean, it's not, a moment ago, we could read it clearly, and I think.
here, put the laptop in front of you. We're at 90 degrees.
Then you can't see what you're doing.
That's okay for right now. But let's just test it. Now, does this get rid of the glare?
No, we got rid of the picture.
Remember, this is a couple seconds behind.
Okay.
Well, let's see now. That's not a black background that camera's showing. It's showing the screen as a blue
Yeah,
out here.
yeah, it looks, it's reasonable. I mean, come on. For,
For a webcam on a
okay,
low-cost laptop,
yeah, come on. That's not.
I'd say set it back up and turn the overhead lights back on, because sometimes the auto contrast on these does better if the room's illuminated.
Well, it was working just fine before, and I don't see why.
Mhm.
We can read.
Okay, so here's the
black on-
angler dangler, and this shows you where your lure will land when you press the fire button to cast it. And this shows you also where the islands are.
And this is, and what are we seeing here?
Yeah, I see there's that big reflection right in the middle there.
Well, I don't think that's why see, it's sharper at one point than another. I think it's partly the game. It's just picking up when it's black on cyan. It's pretty sharp. When it's white, it is not as sharp.
There's supposed to be fish in here. I wonder if this is a bad file.
No, it's just more realistic. You never catch fish. Yeah. Never catch a fish on your
Okay.
first cast.
Then let's
Then you lie about it.
try something else here.
See see how clear that is?
Yeah,
That's perfectly clear.
well, it's not a black background.
okay, I'm going to try with the lights on.
That's as clear as we can get it, I think. Yeah, turn the light on if you want.
Because here's angler
Just tell me-
dangler
tell me if there's
on the
anything
final
else.
ground.
You might turn the other one off.
So that's the overhead.
Yeah, so we're getting a good reflection in black. That's the problem with these things. Yeah, we're still getting a good reflection from the door or from that light.
Probably coming off the screen itself here, because look, watch. I don't know.
Stand right here.
In no time at all,
Couldn't see any light from the outside.
yeah.
Oh, there
You're
we
just gonna
go.
have to suffer with us.
Well, the last time we turned the lights off completely in this
So
room.
we're
They forgot we
basically
were
using
here.
a webcam on the bezel of a low-cost laptop. So
Oh.
you're gonna have to, cut us a little slack. If anything, send an angry letter to Google and YouTube about them killing off mobile streaming support for channels with less than 1,000 subscribers, because that is what has caused this to change. We probably had a little bit better quality using the smartphone camera than we did the laptop camera, but we can't do that currently because we don't have 1,000 subscribers on this channel. And I'm not really apt to beg people to do something when the problem really is Google.
Do we need a separate IP address for each person?
I don't even want to play their game.
Because
I would rather 1,000 people complain to them about it than 1,000 people subscribe to the channel, whether they're real or imagined.
I was going to say if we could somehow get, since we have so many talented programmers in the community, if we could get everybody.
I'm sure it would be no problem to game it, but eventually Google does try to detect this sort of behavior. And it doesn't, doing that doesn't prevent them from changing the rules and saying, well, maybe you need if you made 1,000 so easily, maybe you need 2,000.
Hey, if we can do 1,000, we can sure as hell do 2,000. We can do 50,000 if we can game the system. We could, now, I'd like to do.
I'm of the opinion that we should not reward Google's bad behavior. We should not compel people to do things they're not comfortable doing.
Hey, I caught a fish.
Just because Google wants them to.
Screw them. Let's. It's like the system of alerts. In the United States, we have the different levels of alert. In Britain, they have certain levels. Number one is miffed. Number two is DETCOM is concerned. Number three is annoyed. Number four is, well, I think we should consider this. Number five is, oh, that's terrible. Whereas in Scotland, they only have one. Let's get the bastards.
Okay, so you press the fire button, you're retrieving, and that's your stress meter on the right side. So you can't really just pull these guys in real hard. I'm trying to pull them over.
Well, it stresses the fish, or it stresses the
stress is on the line.
Oh, it stresses the line.
So if that red line gets all the way up to the top, it'll break the line.
Oh,
and if you get hung up on these little islands,
is that what they are? Islands?
Yeah.
I thought they were maybe
broke the line.
Game ready, as opposed to game over. I wonder. Is it? No, I guess.
Well, I managed to put that line right on top of one of the islands. Oh, I caught a fish.
Does that remove some of the? Of course, we'll have to wait.
Well, that's why I was trying if we angled for fish.
Do we need an old-timey photographer's shroud?
Yeah.
A cardboard box.
No, I mean like the old shrouds they used to have that they put over themselves in their camera stands.
Yeah.
So they were manipulating the plate photography.
Maybe we should.
Camera.
I've got the solution, guys. Why don't we put the monitor and the camera under the table and just watch on this monitor?
Well, we could turn around. We could put the monitor facing the.
Sure.
I don't think that would make
But I
the
think-
damnedest
but
bit
I
of
think
difference.
we're gonna get ambient- No,
Lots.
'cause we're gonna get ambient light
Well, it's
directly
looking
to
at
the aperture.
the light of that glass door. So let's put this over here.
All right. And now the camera is going to pick up all that extra light.
There.
Oh, what the hell? Maybe it will work. But the only way we're going to know is to end the game and then see the.
There. Yeah, because this is black.
You
And this
still
is
have a bright
purple.
spot in the center.
Still, the bright spot is coming from the light, and now it's worse than it was before.
Because on this thing, here's the menu.
I think it's actually gotten worse.
Yeah, I think it's a little
I'm
more
not sure.
washed up looking. what does the viewers and the audience think?
Here, let's see.
We're getting more ambient light into the camera and making the display look even more
Here, I've turned the brightness down, and the auto contrast on the webcam
You can read the time.
is kicking it up. Now, if I turn the brightness up,
I also have a quality set. Well, it says it's auto.
It was sharper a second ago.
Well, I think I changed the settings, so it's.
Yeah. See, now you could read the text on the side.
We can't read.
Now we can't read anything.
no, it's picking up
All right.
reflections.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not good.
Now, see, now we can read the time, but that's clear. That's.
I don't know if it, I mean, the ideal situation was if we could white balance it beforehand, that might have some effect, but I don't know that there's any
Yeah,
white
see, now-
balance control on the desktop.
If you go to, yeah.
So none of this is, this is just a viewer. We'd have to go to the laptop and see if there's like a white.
Well, here, I
balance.
turn the brightness down, and our eyes compensate just fine. And you can see the iris on the webcam compensating for the brightness, trying to maintain an even brightness level.
Yeah.
It's like it wants it brighter.
Well,
Then it wants it
on
darker.
this screen, it's perfectly clear. And that's why I think it has something to do with the program itself.
I
Yeah,
think,
yeah.
I think it has, it's probably YouTube's desktop image, streaming software is probably not really.
Yeah, now, wait a minute. Can we just get a black screen for a second? Can you go to just a black screen, or maybe turn the computer off for a moment? And let's see what, see that,
Yeah, so that's really hot looking in the camera.
There.
yeah. Now there's that big black, big white.
Look what my hand is doing. It's casting a shadow on the screen. The screen is seeing the light off the,
Yeah, it's
Off the
reflecting
camera.
off of here. Yeah,
so let's see if we can mask that.
yeah. Well, we could mask it by doing this.
No, I mean,
Now
mask
look, it's nice
the,
and flat.
yeah, it's seeing a reflection of itself.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. We can't. I mean, there's just certain things you can do and certain things you can't do. Well, we're still seeing.
Where's the camera? Camera is up here,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Well,
Okay, so I really can't.
no, I think.
I think we're gonna have to just live with it for this.
Yeah, we live with it. I mean, it's been like this for
We
10
can
years.
maybe-
you know.
maybe experiment.
Well, this is the time we're working with the lens on the
Not to
laptop.
mention, I'm gonna probably have to find a different solution when it comes time for the Vintage Computer Festival Midwest. I was over doing a site visit for the new space the other weekend.
New space?
Yeah, so
Where's
we're
it gonna
not
be
at
now?
the Holiday Inn. We're gonna be in Elmhurst this time. I don't think the location has been officially announced. I just happen to know
Okay.
because I was invited to do some network evaluation. But I think AT&T service and probably anyone that has a GSM phone is going to be very unhappy there. So I'm going to probably have to bring another hotspot with me for streaming.
I don't even know what a GSM is.
So GSM is the International Telecommunications Union standard for cellular service.
Well, that pushed the reflection up off to the top.
You want to move this? Whoops.
That is a fuzzy.
It's always been.
Here, there's a reflection of the screen itself.
Yeah.
Right
Well,
here
no,
in the
I think
middle.
when we had the web camera, when we had the phone camera, the resolution of the camera and the quality of the data stream was much higher.
Okay.
It's the reflection, though.
There,
Yeah, I know.
that get rid of
Right.
most of it.
It's-
Now we got the camera on top of the P box, and I've angled the screen
Yeah, I think I'll have to
considerably.
play with the.
So now we got a little bit of parallax. Let's see. Can we eliminate the parallax by moving them into the same plane? Or not?
Well, the parallax is okay.
Oh, that's good.
Yes, Eric and Monsterland, boy, when I saw this game about a year and a half ago, I really wanted it. And then when I got it, I found out I have a tough time trying to. Okay. Okay, so you have to duck under the bird. And you can't jump over the bird. So I have to duck under the bird. Wonder what I have to do to, I can't seem to do a smooth jump and move forward.
High score is 0. That's my high score. Timber.
And I still landed on the fire.
Get closer. Duck. Now jump. Duck. There you go. Duck. Run in a little more, and then jump.
Oh,
You
geez.
gotta get right next to the thing before you jump.
Yeah,
Duck.
I hate having to count pixels. Mm.
What are the witches up on the,
Oh, the witch up there. Oh,
Yeah.
you're supposed to keep pace with her or go faster than she
I'll
is.
get it, I'll get it. Oh,
Well, this would be a fun game for our reflex endowed members.
Hi there, I'm here for the milk and cookies. Are you Victor?
Howdy.
I'm Brett.
Oh, hi. Only ever heard you on the internet.
Sharon, this is Tom, huh?
No, it's not Tom.
Okay, because Tom Clayton comes the last 5 minutes of every meeting, and,
I came all the way from Indiana, so it was a little bit of a trek.
Okay.
well, I hate to tell you this, but the meeting is almost over. It's,
Let's turn the
I
light
got-
on.
you got about
Yeah.
10 minutes.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm Victor Stirrup. I'm
Oh,
the
well,
president, equipment chairman, librarian.
all we plan to do is a disk swap, so it shouldn't take too long.
Okay.
Well, we're just finishing up the show here, so.
Yes, this is the Don't Mess with Texas demonstration.
Gotcha. I'm Hal, by the way.
Nice to meet you, Hal.
And this is Jim at the door. I thought you were Jim. You guys have similar haircuts.
Aha, same barber, huh?
Yeah.
Yes, you had said that you would need it. What kind of cartridges do you have?
Pretty much just factory stuff, and I got a couple of parts off. But I went with,
Well, I mean, if you
I got
have
one of these.
cartridges for running discs, okay.
oh, nice.
The flash drive, okay.
Yeah, and then for running discs, I have an expansion box. DVD.
Okay, do you have editor, assembler, or TI extended basic?
Extended basic.
Okay.
But you were at the fair once, weren't you?
Say again?
You were at the fair?
No.
Oh, you never been at the fair, huh? Well, you're in for a treat then. On November the 2nd, the fair takes place right in this building downstairs. And it's a big deal. People come from all over the world to introduce new programs and new equipment.
And where is that held at?
Right here in this building,
Oh, okay.
downstairs on the first floor.
Mhm.
November the 2nd. And on November the 1st, we have a dinner usually at the Holiday Inn, big enough to accommodate us. And so we then the fair takes place, and after that, after the fair, is a banquet, which is usually at Panera. And after that is the infamous pub crawl, which takes us all over the city, and then the survivors gather for breakfast.
Ah, very good.
So, so we're kind of winding down. We have this room from 1 until 4 every first Saturday, just about every first Saturday. Obviously, this is not the first Saturday.
Well,
But-
as of right now, November 2nd is my weekend off from work, so I shall plan to attend. That's cool.
Well, tell them
I'm sure.
tell them at work that you need the first Saturday in November off.
Well, it's, like I said, I'm scheduled off, so it's, I work every weekend,
Every single weekend.
every other weekend.
Oh, every other weekend. Well, if you can,
That works out.
okay. My yacht club seems to want to schedule a banquet every year at the same time as our banquet, and so I miss it every year. And I have tried innumerable times to get them to.
Where is your club located?
Well, the banquet is up at the Illinois Beach State Park, which is it's a Holiday Inn. It's about from here to a wall away from the water. And but in November, nobody is interested
No.
in being in the water. So,
No.
it's cold, it snows,
Treasures.
but they do have a big pool, and we have a good banquet, and the women all get together afterwards and knit or play cards or bingo or whatever the hell they do until 2:00 in the morning. The guys go off and drink at the bar, so you know how that is. And we all have breakfast the next day.
Yeah, I saw there was a hotel right across the street, so that'll work out nice.
Yeah, now, there are 5 or 6 hotels in this town, depending on the price range and what amenities you want. There's the Hyatt, there's the Hilton, the Orrington is oldest hotel, but very, very nice. The Holiday Inn, is kind of the standard place where a lot of people stay.
Gotcha. Bed and shower is all I need, you know?
Yeah,
Bed and shower, walking distance.
There's a Margarita Inn, which is a European style. Not all of the rooms are all suite. In other words, you don't get a shower in each room.
Right.
But it is a very nice place. It has a world-class restaurant,
Nice.
which is charging world-class prices. But we have people staying all over the place. And usually, if you do your booking online, you get a better price than if you walk up to the door.
Okay.
Although that has also been reversed in some cases. People come in at the last minute and want a room, and they can't sell that room any other way. So,
Right. Well, I'll look at it now for November.
Yeah.
That's fine.
but expect to pay at least $100 a night.
That's fine.
I don't ever pay $100 a night. Of course, I only live a mile and a half away from here. So.
Right. Nice.
We used to when we had the fair at different locations, we always had rooms, and we always had enough rooms. We get comp rooms and everything else, but those days are past. So
Right.
it used to be when I started this job as fair manager, 5,000 people were coming to the fair, and we don't get that many anymore. But we still have a good time. And I don't have to work at it a whole year in advance to run the fair anymore. So how are we looking at time, guys? We about ready to
Until
shut down?
So we're at 3:38 right now. So my guess is if you want to go check the librarian, see if someone's scheduled behind us, and maybe have another 5 minutes.
Yeah, if we can, all right, this is automated, so I will go check and we'll see.
My guess is there probably is someone behind us, as I've seen about 3 or 4 people come up to the door and see if someone is using the room.
2. Yeah, I inherited from the past two librarians.
Yeah, I can see that the text on the credits are really, really, really bad on there. Oh, we'll have to figure out, I'll have to do some testing offline and see if there's some way we can improve the video quality. You know, it would have been nice if Google didn't kneecap us. We could just continue to use the camera phone, which is a very good camera in it, and the software seems to be better at managing photos and dealing with lighting problems.
Oh, God.
Do you have any of this?
Yes. Do you need the cartridge for Tunnels of Doom?
Yes. Oh, I have it, but I mean.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there were a lot of Dooms games. Yeah, Dooms games 1, Dooms games 2. What it is when you load it, you don't select a new dungeon. You go with that dungeon because that author has carefully set up the maze and the rooms and the rewards and such.
Yeah, I just
Some of these
kind
are
of rediscovered my TI 99. I had one new at 11 years old, back in 1981. And never did get the purple expansion box. It's too much money.
Yeah. There's some stuff here. This isn't Tunnels of Doom. These are text adventures.
Yeah.
So Enchanter, Hitchhiker's Guide. I don't know if you're interested in those or not. But here's a Chicago library, at least most of it.
Okay.
It's not comprehensive.
Let me just take a look and see what's of interest.
Let's see if I can do some. Okay. Yeah, there's these Infocom adventure games. Star-Crossed, Leather Goddess of Phobos, Genial Traveler. Okay, we'll have that stuff. Here's a box.
We gotta shut down, guys. There,
Here's a box.
somebody from 4 to 6 has got the
And
room.
then here, take these are blanks.
Okay, all right. And
So,
here's two more boxes.
That's about it for us for this month. Hope everybody will join us again next month. And we'll have more things going, more programs to demo, maybe some new hardware. Who knows? You never know from month to month. We never know from month to month. And that's about it. Thanks again for joining us. We'll see you, I presume, on the first Saturday of June. God willing, and the rain never stops. The water is up in Lake Michigan and is getting higher and higher and higher. But that's okay.
There may not be a
You never know. So, bye for now.
Contact Noah, tell him to get the arc ready.
End your stream and end. And